Hello, it is Sheila, the Grateful Goddess, and I had a wonderful conference this last weekend, and one of the workshops was on storytelling, and it reminded me of a story I've never shared with you. She was talking about how important it is, the stories we tell ourselves. And this is not news to me. I used to teach a workshop called Rewriting Your Story, so that your not so perfect past does not predict your future. Again, it was a deep dive into looking at the stories we tell ourselves and whether sometimes we tell those stories because we've been told it time and time again until it became our belief system, or whether it was just a story we created on our own. So anyway, this particular story of mine goes back to when my children were young. My daughter was probably in, I'd say, about third, fourth grade. And so prior to this piece of the story, I had been told over and over that I'm not creative. Now, let me tell you why this is. I worked in an advertising agency for over 20 years. And so in this agency, as most agencies are structured, you have your creatives and your suits. And I was a suit. Now, it was the job of the suit to meet with the client, be able to understand exactly what it was they needed, and then interpret it for the creatives to come up with a solution. So in reality, I needed to be really creative because I needed to be able to see both sides, be able to find solutions, be able to build relationships that made everybody feel heard and seen. So anyway, loved the job for 15 years. I was in it for 20, but that's another story. Anyway, so as I did this work, I would often be told by my boss, "You're not creative, just be a suit." And mostly it came up because I would do these elaborate, funny, or at least I thought they were funny, greeting cards for Christmas. And so I would have the agency execute them, and that would drive her crazy. Like, just, you're not creative, just stick to what you do best. So now, fast forward, I am working with my daughter on her homework. I had had a very long day, and I am starting to make dinner. And I have all the ingredients out on my chopping block, and I've got the tortillas, I'm making some tacos, I've got all the stuff, and I'm chopping up lettuce and tomatoes and all of that good stuff. And my daughter springs on me the fact that, I have a big science project due tomorrow. And I haven't started on it. I need your help. And so I asked her what it is, and she said it's something about the amphibians. And I said, well, start drawing them out on your big poster board and just get it done. Do the research, do the work, just do it. And she said to me, with all the body language of disappointment in her mother, like, I always thought you were more creative than that. And now, granted, in that very moment, I was more irritated than I was inspired by her seeing me as a creative person. So I took the tortilla that I had in my hand and I flung it at her, and it popped her in the face. And she said, "What was that?" And I said, "It's a starfish, cut it out." And that's when our creative project began, of the undersea world, with a tortilla starfish and a banana octopus and all the food that we could find in the kitchen to create this masterpiece. And so I tell you all of this just to simply say, I could have bought into the idea that I'm not creative, and admittedly, for many, many years, I did. Or I could change my reality by what I wanted to be true, and to see myself through the eyes of my daughter, who thought I was very creative. All right, so the stories you tell yourself are super important. What stories are you telling?